Hey folks, this is Mark again from Family Fun Scuba and Snorkel, located here in Billings, Montana at 1841 Grand Avenue. Well, a couple things I want to talk about today is stuff that can reap havoc on your gear and some just easy stuff that you can do to take care of it. I mean, I'd love to sell you some more gear, but I think you'll appreciate this advice a little bit more. The first thing I want to talk about is something that we really take for granted because we love it when we get out of a dive, especially if we're a little cold, and that's the sun. Sun really is kind of nasty on gear, especially neoprene, anything with rubber, anything with O-rings, which is between all that stuff, it's the majority of what we use. So if you're going to dry your gear, cool, has to dry, you want it totally dry. But dry it in a shady spot. If you are staying at a resort or something, and you can put it on the lanai and or your patio, cool. One, make sure it's off the ground so that people just can't take it. And two, make sure it's not directly in the sun. That just breaks the gear down. And even if you're renting, you're like, what do I care? Well, it's important for the next person too. So let's just be real moral and ethical about that and take care of stuff all the way around. We know as divers we have to watch out for each other. So let's do that. Number two, something I want to talk about is sand. If you've ever looked at a sand crystal under a microscope, it's gnarly. I mean, it's like a little rock with points and knives and jaggedy things. You know, as I like to be kind of animated. I mean, it's nasty. So when we get that stuff inside of our gear, it's horrible on it. Horrible. So we want to make sure that we put everything away and we have really good trim with our gear. Everything's stowed away, whether we're diving with it, whether it's before diving, after diving, whatever. Keep stuff away from the sand. Just don't do it. I'll just rinse it off in water. There's sand in it. I repair gear all the time, and you can't find a piece of gear that is sand free. It's just not possible. There's sand in everyone's gear, but the difference is you can minimalize it. So sand. Another thing that we here in Montana, where there's a lot of fresh water, we forget about is, hey, I'm in fresh water. I don't need to clean this out. I was just in fresh water for 2-3 hours. Not true. And true. Yes, you were in salt or fresh water, but it's kind of funky fresh water. And I don't care where you're at, if you're in the Great Lakes or in Flathead or in your local reservoir. There's a lot of funk in that water. When you get done diving, fresh water, i.e. tap water, something that's been purified and cleaned. You want to get all that funk out of there, because with wet and funk grows more funk, and you don't need any bacteria or mildews or anything like that one can infect you later, or two, deteriorate your gear. So fresh water. Talking about water, now moving over to the ocean, salt water. You ever seen a salt crystal? Same as a sand crystal. I mean, it's nasty, shardy. I guess shardy is probably not the right word. Has a lot of shards off of it and can really reap havoc on your gear. The bottom line is it will deteriorate your gear. You can say, I just did this or do that. It'll deteriorate your gear. Well, I'm going to be out tomorrow. It'll deteriorate your gear. It might take a little longer, but it will deteriorate it. Just wash it every time. Rinse the heck out of it. One of the things I do, it's been a great practice of mine, is when I get done diving, I'm back at the hotel or at home or at my shop, and I'm showering, I put it right in the shower with me. I flip it over here, flip it over there a little bit. Just keep washing, doing what I do. Just, if you can't find time for it, just put it in the shower while you're in the shower. That's a really easy way to, at the very least, get some type of rinse on it. Whether it's fresh water, salt water, or chlorine, which of course is chemical, which it hurts your eyes, it hurts other pieces and parts of your body, and you don't think it's not going to hurt your gear. That'll hurt your gear too. Clean it off. I'm going to say it again. Fresh water. We don't want any chemicals, and we don't want any in there. So let's get rid of that. Protecting your gear, really important. I've seen 1,000 different people just go talk to somebody and set down their gear, and then some shysters doing this, checking it out, and I notice them. I'm pretty aware person, and I see them looking at it, and I keep my eye on it for them, just as a gesture of good faith as a diver. Make sure that one, your gear is stowed away, like I said, out of the sun, not funk and around bugs and just ants and all that stuff. But also make sure it's not around some people that are a little questionable in their morality, and they would love to have a new set of gear for themselves or their friends, or to sell, or what have you. So keep track of it. You just don't need that. Or somebody backing up and all of a sudden they're over the top of your gear. Hey, I looked at my mirrors, I looked back behind me. Well, it's only a foot off the ground because it's in a bag. Don't need that. So let's not do that. Last but not least, I want to talk about you in the water. When you're in the water, you got to have a really nice trim on your gear. Everything's put away, stowed away, nothing's hanging off, looking all Hollywood on you. And also, you want to make sure you're keeping a nice neutral buoyancy. When you do that, you stay up off of the bottom. I don't care how good your buoyancy is. Stay 2, 3, 4 feet off the bottom, just depending on how good you are. That way, even if you do put good trim with your gear and everything stowed away, even if something did happen to come loose, it's not going to drag you in the sand. It's not going to hurt reefs or corals or anything like that. It's not going to damage your gear. So it'll just be well taken care of. We don't need that. So what I would give you a tip to do is, if that's you a little bit, or even if that's not you, take a PADI peak performance buoyancy course. Really help you work with your buoyancy, staying up off the bottom in different positions. We have a fantastic peak performance buoyancy course. Also, you could take the PADI equipment specialist class. That'll teach you how to get all the basic sands and funk and stuff out of your gear, how to clean your gear, as well as a ton of other things. Those 2 classes are wonderful. We've done a lot of those, and people really enjoy them. They're inexpensive, and for the cost it is to learn how to take care of your gear a step further than the lay person, totally worth it. So again, remember, it's expensive, and it's life support. Anyways, again, this is Mark with Family Fun Scuba and Snorkel. It's been a great time talking with you wherever the heck you are out there, and hope to see you around diving. Be well. Pool's open. Take care.